Hello everyone, my name is Floof. I am one of the top GSC players in the world, and I am here to give you a top tier list of all of the different detachments in the Codex and kind of rank them on what they can give you. Roll the intro. Oh, that was... Hold on. I'm gonna dry myself off on you. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. I'll take it. Hi, my name is Floof. It's very nice to meet you. I hope you're enjoying your stay here so far. I'm here to essentially give you a little bit of a ranking now that I've had a few days to kind of look through the codex, talk to some other top players, and just kind of like get opinions on things and see where we are and where things lie. Running a couple test games as well. This is going to be my knee-jerk reactions on where the detachments are. Now, we don't have new points. We have seen codex points, but as people in this hobby should know, in the competitive scene should know, the codex points don't really matter all that much, if anything at all. So with a general kind of guide of, hey, it seems that most things are probably going to be coming down about 10-20%. I've made and heard from other people who've gone and played games at about 2200 points into other stuff to see how it feels. In terms of just looking at the rules and after everything, I want to come here and give you guys my rankings on what I think is good and what works. This is obviously subject to change with all of the new stuff coming out with Pariah Nexus, all of the changes to just everything around us. There could be FAQs that change how GSC plays. Points are going to shift things back and forth. There's all this stuff. But for right now, what I'm looking at, this is my gut instinct. And to start it off, I want to say I called this because even though I said nothing on terms of the channel, I've been saying this a lot in forums and all this kind of stuff to where you can follow the discussion on GSC. I'm putting number one for Xenocreed. I absolutely love it. It's possibly one of the my favorite detachments. As soon as I saw the detachment rule and the basically two different strategies that they gave us, which was, it was the enhancement to reroll cult ambush rolls, and then it was the other one to where if a Primus, a Primus, a Magus, or an Icon War dies, you get full rerolls to hit. It reminded me a little bit at first of Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor. Other people reminded me that this is more akin to like Pauper Prince. And I think it's kind of become a good meshing of both, right? So I think Xenocreed gives a lot of good potential for a bunch of varied and different lists. Let me pull up my little script here and white out my face. It's a strong general detachment buff. I think that you are going to want to take a lot of characters. Maybe you are disincentivized with wanting to take big squads with characters. You're giving your opponent both fixed on assassinate and no prisoners. Is it no prisoners? I think it's called the Horde. Regardless, I think we all know what I mean. It's going to be a difficult balance, but I think what this detachment offers you is going to be good. The devotion stratagem for +1 attack and +1 weapon skill in exchange for hazardous, I'll take that any day of the week. That going on hybrid metamorphs or acolyte hybrids, the melee boys, that sounds absolutely fantastic. As well as Denunciator of Tyrant can be fantastic for a lot of different profiles. I think that's great when put on a Primus with Neophytes. Now you have all of your autoguns minimum are wounding people on 5s with Ridge Runner support that's ignoring cover and +1 AP. That's going to bring down big things. That's going to have an effect. People are going to roll 1s, people are going to roll 2s, and if you don't have a base 2-up armor, if you aren't Marines with access to Armor of Contempt, if you just kind of die. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at you and I roll a bucket of dice, make a bucket of saves. Okay, you failed a good amount. All right, we're gonna hurt your squad. I'm also seeing the Incendiary Inspiration enhancement that gives Advance in Charge. We also have the Stratagem for Advance in Charge. I think together both of these combined can be fantastic in terms of what I'm calling the meta missile. You put metamorphs, an icon ward with this enhancement in a truck, you scout move 6, you disembark 3, you move up 6, you're re-rolling in advance, and then you're charging into something, re-rolling that charge. Your threat range is massive. Before you even roll advances, you've moved 15 up the board. We'll say averaging out, you're getting a 4 or 5, so you're probably 19, 20 inches up the board. If you get that big 6, boom, you're 21. You're 3 inches away from your opponent's deployment zone in terms of DZs that have that 24. There's some DZs that don't. There's some DZs that are like 18, right? At least for the corners. I haven't measured out the new tiers, but we'll figure that out, right? We'll figure that out over time. Anyways, getting off topic, I think all of this, along with deeds that speak to the masses, you know, Cult of the Ambush took a little bit of a hit with taking the +1 to battle line out of everything. I think if you are allowing me to have an icon ward in the back attached to some melee acolytes that are farming me a CP, the icon ward can save one of my blips in a game, and at the same time I'm re-rolling Cult Ambush rolls. I think this is a phenomenal enhancement, and it really makes it to where this detachment, while it might not be flashy in a lot of areas, it just gives you the buffs you need to win the game, right? 1 second. Anyways, let's continue. On to number 2. I think my number 2 and my number 4 spot are going to be a little bit of a hot take. If you don't agree with them, I'd love to hear your feedback. Really, I would. But I've kind of just been running the numbers on a lot of things, and I think that people aren't understanding where buffs and debuffs and nerfs and touches and all this kind of stuff have hurt things more than they've hurt others. And in one of those areas, I think it's neophytes. And in another one of those areas, I think it is Host of Ascension, our index detachment, which is going to be my number 2. Hear me out, stick with me. I swear this isn't just because of the crits 5 stratagem. It's probably a little bit just because of the critting on 5 stratagem. Listen, Return to Shadows. Yes, it did in fact get hit. Yes, I cannot pick up 2 battle line for free at the end of my opponent's turn. That being said, though, it's still a disincentive. Not a lot of units can just pick up 20 neophytes in one shooting phase. There are ones that can definitely do some damage. Absolutely, I will give you that. But if I'm dropping 3 different Primus squads and blowing stuff up all over this board, my opponent, I'll let him have it. I'll say that one squad probably, one thing he has probably just fully detonates a squad, right? What about the other ones? What if he tries to do some type of chip fire? What if, just anything, to be honest, that can just damage the neophytes but not fully kill them, right? I think in those scenarios, Return to Shadows can still be fantastic to just punish your opponent for trying to shoot you. And if they just go, I don't want to shoot you, I can't really charge you, so I'm just going to leave you there. Okay, cool. I just basically got a loan op for free because you didn't want to shoot me. Then if I'm on a point and maybe they didn't shoot me off the point, I'm staying there, I'm getting heavy, I've stick at the objective. There's just a lot of play with Return to Shadows, and yes, it is not as good as the old Return to Shadows. I think it's still fine. On top of that, all of the other stratagems, tunnel crawlers as well. Tunnel crawlers is still doing tunnel crawler things. I think while demo charges did take a big hit, going from D6 shots instead of D6 plus 3 and strength 9 instead of 12, it is still AP2, it is still 2 damage, and on the acolytes that now have full rerolls to wound, that's great. They have full rerolls to wound when shooting something that's on a point, but you're normally using tunnel crawlers to get near a point, to steal a point, to flip it, right? Paired with a Primus, that's full rerolls to hit, that's full rerolls to... Are you splooting? Let's go on to number 3, which I think is good just because of the straightforward gameplay it gives versus any of the real tricks that it can do. I think it's more of, it can be more of not really a stat check, but there is a new style list that's been around for a little bit, but it's been coming up a lot more in 10th edition, with so many things getting infiltrate and scout and having high movement and all this kind of stuff. My detachment in third place is going to be the Outlander Claw. This is the one that doubles the OC of bikes and trucks and then gives bikes sticky objectives. I think there's definitely some interesting enhancements in here. The +1 to the hit roll for all the stuff that's in a truck is fantastic. Rerolling all hits when you get out of a truck can be fantastic. Yes, for demo acolytes, but also just anything, to be honest. I think it's not the most sought after if you're not taking demo acolytes, because in a neophyte squad you're probably rerolling the hit for 1 mining laser, 1 seismic cannon, 1 grenade launcher, not a Weber or flamer because they auto hit, and then some auto guns. Sure, fine, hey, it's good. You can throw it on a Benefactus and you're chilling, but maybe a Benefactus with 10 demo acolytes, it'll kill infantry, you know. Demo charges aren't going to be the kill-all to where I'm just going to nuke a knight or nuke a land raider and be good and smiling. Yes, but it will handle small infantry, it will handle medium infantry, and you still have 10 acolytes that will charge and mess something up in melee. And then, like I was talking about earlier, with the +1 ballistic skill while in a transport, there's some funny stuff you could do with the Benefactus to where you have this this truck with 2 to 3 in them and you're shooting out 4 to 6 las cannon shots. It's funny, it's cute, but I'll be honest, the main appeal I'm seeing is bikes. Bikes get the scout, they get a fast move, they can, do they auto 6? I have a lot of data sheets going through my head. They go fast, and with the Jackal Alphys being able to fire and fade, to move an extra 6 inches, you can really have a squad of 10 bikes be in your opponent's face after you've stickied all the no man's lands objectives turns 1, and you just say, hey, I went first, that means we're sitting here in your deployment zone, you don't get to move, you are gonna sit right here, I'm an inch away from you, you're not really gonna get around me. There are some detachments that don't super care about this, which is why I'm kind of placing it in third. Any detachments that honestly have high movement, or smart players that know how to use the charge phase to just kind of get that little extra 3 or 6 inches to get more out onto the board. Like, I'm also thinking Drukhari with just a bunch of boats that just fly over and say, sorry, I don't care. Those are definitely kind of rough for us, but like, say you go into Marines Ironstorm, yeah, they're totally gonna annihilate those 4 bikes, Jesus Christ. The 10 bikes, absolutely gone, out of here, you're never gonna see them again. But then 10 more bikes come and stop their dreadnoughts from moving yet again. We've seen jail lists, we've seen it with Space Wolves, we are seeing it with Kroot. There are just ways to say, hey, I'm going to play the game, you're not. End of story. Outside of that, if other styles of lists come forward, whether because there is good defensive stuff here. There is your reactive move. There is the 4-up invuln for Ridge Runners and Adelan Jackals. There is the -1 damage. Massive for the Goliath profile. Absolutely fantastic. I love to see it. Encircling the Prey can also be one of our better strategies as well, just because it can help you have this blip off in a corner that you had to be super defensive with because you were worried that your opponent was able to come get it, and now your bikes are kind of in a spot to where they're not really going to be handy even with their high movement. Just pop them back into reserves, you rapid ingress them the next turn, or just bring them in from reserves and maybe they're in a spot to where that matters. Overall, I think there's some great stuff here, and I can really see Outrider Detachment maybe going up a spot. I don't see how it would be better than Index or Host as of right now, but I would look forward to it. I think this is a very unique playstyle, or at least a very unique detachment, and I think it can eventually offer more than just the jail playstyle, but we'll have to see. All right. People are gonna roast me alive for this one, but I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm sorry. I know I'm right. I would bet money on 4 and 5. Okay, here we go. Here's the notes. All right. Hi guys. So there's 2 detachments left, and I'm pretty sure we can tell what's all in number 5. So let's just get to number 4, which is our other hot take of the day. This is the Biosanctic Brood Surge, right? This is... oh, it's spicy. Listen, I want to start this off by saying it has good enhancements. Honestly, some of the coolest ones in the book. Putting +1 AP and damage on the Patriarch, I love to see it. That's just cool. +1 attack on him as well is just going to be fantastic from the detachment rule. The regenerating one, they all can't be great. You know, you can only take 3, so the 4th one being bad is fine with me. Taking away 1 from your opponent's OC is fantastic, especially when our units that are going to be having these benefits and being charging people are only 1 OC. It helps, you know, deal with battle line and all that type of stuff. And then also as well, the infiltrating enhancement. Fantastic. Now my Genestealers can infiltrate. No, obviously they could already do that. You'd only put it on the Patriarch in case you wanted the heroic for free, but being able to infiltrate some aberrants that have now fight on death is fantastic. They make a great road bump. Also with the stratagems, some of them are good. I love simulated biosurge. The plus to charge, fantastic. 1 CP, you're already +2 to charge. If you charge multiple things, you're +3, +4. That's phenomenal. That's, oh my god, I love that. Fantastic. And then there's some stuff that just like evasive vanguards, kind of doo-doo butter. Hyper metabolic vigor is just weird. I've read it 5 times, and every time I feel I came away with a different reading, and all of them were bad. Saintly paroxysm is okay. It's cute. It's funny, especially with an abominant getting back up after, you know, he just handed you 2d3 mortal wounds, and then you're like, deal with me again. Are you okay? Okay. Oh, no? Alright, fantastic. Here's the thing. We're having a little crack. Alright, you know what? You guys get to look at the dog while I talk about aberrants. I don't think the aberrants are good right now. I don't think for the points cost that we've been seeing, I just don't see it. I think I understand the Feel No Pain going from a 4 up to a 5 up. Totally understand. It was obnoxious. That coupled with Strength 8 going to Strength 7, and then... are you alright? Oh my god. No. Anyways, the melee going from Strength 8 to 7, the damage going from 3 to 2, I just don't see it. I genuinely don't see it. And that sucks, because like that's one of your mainstays. You want to run Muscle Beach for this, right? I'm just not looking forward to it. I will say some good points is I think there is a lot of versatility in your tech choices for things like the biophages. The biophages can join neophytes, it can join acolytes, and it can join metamorphs and give you these detachment buffs. And you might be thinking, well, I can see it on acolytes and metamorphs, but why would you put that on neophytes? I want +4 to charge with a 20-man squad of neophytes to go touch my opponent's like 4 rhinos. Yeah, that's great. And just bog up the board and be 20 idiots. But also these 20 idiots now have 2 attacks each. Maybe they eat some chaff unit alive. Who knows? They're going to get +1 to wound from the... If I charge like 10 Cadians and like a Chimera and a Russ, I'm popping the Biophages' +1 to wound against infantry, and I'm eating the Cadians alive. Absolutely. 10 out of 10. But yeah. I think it's good. I think it's fine, but I think with other melee detachments right now, it doesn't punch into those melee detachments. I don't see it doing well into World Eaters. I don't see it doing well into Sisters. I don't see it doing well into Blood Angels. I'm not convinced, and If I'm wrong, I will absolutely say I'm wrong. But right now, I think there's a lot of stuff to where if you just want a melee bomb, you can do that in Xenocreed with a better unit. That, I don't know. That's just me. All right, let's get this last part over with. Number 5, Brood Brothers Auxiliary. It's fine. I just don't, I'm a certified hater. You know what? I'll be the first to say it. I'm a certified hater. All right. Not a hater. I don't hate it. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. The thing is that it just feels all over the place. It feels inconsistent in what it wants to do. There are some great things here. The +1 OC, dude, I want to throw that on a Primus and have OC3 neophytes that are just annoying little assholes, or throw it on a Icon Ward and now they have a 5-up Feel No Pain. They're OC3, they're sticking objectives, and they're just being annoying. That sounds fantastic. This might also be a good spot for neophytes, because if you just take a lot of things that are going to give you the +1 to hit, I believe there is a vehicle that gives you +1 AP. I haven't super looked in the guard stuff. I think it's non-keyworded. I don't know if it stacks with the Ridge Runner buff, but being able to give this +1 to hit and +1 AP from either our own units, or for the +1 hit, of course, is coming from the guard, can basically be like a build your own perfect ambush from Index, but now just in this, which is fine. That's cool. That's great. But I'm not excited. So with all of the different stratagems you get, it's cool, it's fine. I don't know. I feel like if you want to do this, you're better off just playing guard or just playing Genestealer cults and having the armies be separate. I'm a bit of a purist. Unless you want to like triple Dorn or double Dorn in a Shadow Sword, because that's just funny. I'm sorry, am I interrupting your video? Come here. Trouble? Just being a little dork. Alright. I love you. Mom will be home soon. Probably. Alright, so that's my 5. Okay. First off, Xenocreed. Second off, Index with Host of Ascension. Third off is Outrider Claw. Fourth off is Biosanctic Brood Surge. I remembered, I'm so good. Number 5 is the Brood Brothers one. The Brood Brothers people are going to be mad at me. They do not like me because I do not like this detachment. But, you know, here we are. Alright, before I go, I do want to talk about some good things that'll just be kind of unanimously good. I think less so in the Outrider detachment, because I think that kind of wants to do its own thing. But let's just get into it. The Meta Missile, 10 Metamorphs, Icon Ward in a truck. Fantastic. That's cool. That's great. We love it here in that world. They get in turn 1 or turn 2 as quick as you want them, honestly. And then you leave the truck behind. That way units can like daisy chain into it. You know, you run them up, you get them inside. Next turn they hop out and they go advance and charge as well. It's a great staging platform, right? To just hide behind some ruins. Fantastic. I think neophytes with a Primus still slap people for their fucking lunch money. Absolutely. There will be times to where I think the Benefactus can be a better attachment, especially in detachments that give you other ways to get full rerolls to hit. If you think you can consistently get Vengeance for the Martyr on a key unit that you want to shoot with neophytes, that's great. You are sacrificing a character, a unit it's attached to, and +1 CP, but like if you go eat something and then consolidate into your opponent's, like, I don't know, what do Space Marines bring? Fade Guard? You consolidate into one of their damage units, and then that eats you alive. Yeah. Now neophytes drop down, they have full rerolls to hit, they have lethal. That's great. That's fantastic. I love that, especially in like Knights. Oh yeah, you love that in Knights, because you just take, oh, your big guy that's worth 400, 500 points. Full rerolls, please. I would love to hit you. And then now you have all these lethal hits rerolling. Fantastic. There are a lot of different ways to get +1 attack, whether that's in Xenocreed or in Biosanctic. And I think that's great for the melee acolytes, the ones that have the anti-vehicle 4-up weapon. That's AP2, AP3 with Ridge Runner support. Because once again, look at that datasheet. The new datasheet no longer says just in the shooting phase. It is for the rest of the turn, so it does buff melee. You need to remember, all of our melee platforms can be +1 AP if needed. So if you're looking at someone and you're pretty heckin' sure that they're gonna use Armor of Contempt or a similar thing, or you just need that extra AP, Ridge Runners will get you there. Fantastic. And it's 3 damage, which is fantastic. I think that's one of our better units into like Redemptor Dreadnoughts or any -1 damage platforms. Yeah, I think melee acolytes are going to be great. I also think flamer acolytes are still going to be good. Full rerolls to wound on anything on points. That's what their job is for. They're in Strucks or they're in Deep Strike to go take care of things that touch points. Fantastic. Hell yeah, go for it. That being said, that's kind of our only way to reroll wounds. A lot of this detachment has lower strength stuff. And not a lot of wound rerolls, not a lot of ways to help the wound rerolls. Yes, Biosanctic gives you +1 to wound against vehicles. At best, that's probably bringing you from 5s to 4s. There are a couple toughness 7 vehicles, yes. So you're going from 4s to 3s, but that's not really where you need it, right? A lot of our stuff is additional attacks, additional hits, full rerolls to hit. And so it's trying to make sure that we're taking this large quantity of attacks and at least hitting, and then just being like, well, I've hit 40, 50 times. I'm wounding on 5s. Sure, I'm wounding on 6s. Let's roll an amount of dice. You know, you're going to roll 5s, you're going to roll 6s, your opponents are going to roll 1s and 2s. That's why those things that are giving +1 to wound and all this other stuff is fantastic. Any kind of thing to mess with the wound roll in this really can start to smash with stuff, because we have a lot of consistent ways to get hit rerolls. So if we're doing both, we're in a great spot. Another thing as well, I think now that Return to Shadows is gone, and all the other detachments don't have anything like it, I think trucks are going to be one of our more key units. I can see taking at least 2 in each detachment, to where, hey, I've got a blip in the back corner. I'm going to have a truck go back here, so when they hop in, or when they come from the blip, they can go in the truck and just get back into the front lines. I have a little taxi service. Yeah, I think there's a lot of strong play with these transports, and they're just going to get better based on how you use them. I could see Xenocreed or Biosanctic using like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 of them. Totally. Just throw acolytes in those trucks. Boom, bam, fantastic, they're going. The only thing it doesn't super synergize with, I think, is when you want neophytes to do damage. If you have neophytes just to be a cheap 10-man that's going to sticky an objective, oh yeah, go for it. 10 out of 10. Totally. Go for it. 20 guys can't fit a 10-slot truck, though. So I think it's good. I think neophytes are still good. I'm going to have a video coming out soon going over what neophytes can do for us, what they offer us, all this different type of stuff. And yeah, I'm going to try putting out a lot more content for you guys this week with the codex coming up, with stuff still coming out. I'm excited for this codex. I really am. A lot of people have been doom and gloom on it. I think in terms of rules and stuff, yes, there are a couple extra hoops that we need to jump through unnecessarily. That's totally fine. I'm not even going to try and pretend like that isn't the objective truth. I think, though, a lot of the stuff that we can do is still very cool. I think it is satisfying. I think it is going to be rewarding when you play this army at a high level. And I am really, really excited to just have some good matches with this. So look forward to more content, look forward to more results as I continue to go to all of these singles tournaments and put up 3-0s and 5-0s and all this type of stuff. Thank you for watching the video one more time. That is my dog. I don't have an outro. Goodbye.